In one of the most isolated countries on Earth, there is an airline that almost nobody can fly. It belongs to a nation where most citizens will never leave their province, let alone cross a border. A country where foreign travel is tightly controlled, airports are watched, passports are privileges, and the outside world is treated like a dangerous infection. And yet, North Korea has its own airline. Its planes carry the national flag across the sky. Its cabin crew serve passengers with perfect smiles. Its aircraft land in China and Russia, connecting one of the world's most closed societies to the outside world. But here is the strange part. Air Koryo is not just an airline. It is a symbol, a message, a controlled doorway in a country built on walls. So why does North Korea need an airline at all? To understand that, you have to forget everything you know about normal airlines. Most airlines exist to move people. They compete for tourists, business travelers, families, workers, and students. They advertise freedom, comfort, speed, and choice. Air Koryo exists for almost the opposite reason. It does not represent freedom of movement. It represents movement under control. It is North Korea's national airline, based in Pyongyang, and it remains the country's only commercial airline. Its regular international connections have been limited mainly to nearby cities like Beijing, Shenyang, and Vladivostok, linking North Korea mostly with China and Russia, its two most important neighbors. That alone tells you something important. Air Koryo was never designed to connect North Korea to the world. It was designed to connect North Korea to only the parts of the world the regime can manage. The airline story begins in the early Cold War, when North Korea was not simply poor and isolated, but deeply tied to the Soviet bloc. Its roots go back to a Soviet-North Korean aviation partnership known as SOKO, created around 1950. Before later evolving into the state carrier that became Air Koryo. From the beginning, aviation was political. Planes were not just machines. They were proof that North Korea was a real state, with real institutions, real international links, and real modern technology. For a young dictatorship built out of war and ideology, that mattered. A flag carrier is more than transportation. It is a flying embassy. When an Air Koryo plane lands abroad, it says, North Korea exists. North Korea is sovereign. North Korea does not need to disappear into the shadow of its enemies. That is why even a tiny airline can matter so much. But inside North Korea, the meaning is even deeper. The country is built around separation. Citizens are separated from foreign media. Families are separated by loyalty class. Ordinary people are separated from the elite. And almost everyone is separated from the outside world. So the existence of an airline creates a powerful contradiction. The state tells its people that the outside world is hostile, corrupt, and dangerous. But the state itself still needs access to that world. It needs diplomats to travel. It needs officials to move. It needs cargo, spare parts, foreign currency, delegations, and controlled tourism. It needs a way in and out. Air Koryo is that way. And because it belongs to the state, the regime does not have to trust anyone else with the gate. This is the key. A normal country can allow foreign airlines to operate freely, but North Korea is not a normal country. Letting outsiders control air routes would mean giving foreign companies regular access to Pyongyang, passenger records, airport systems, schedules, logistics, and people. For a paranoid regime, that is a risk. So Air Koryo keeps the doorway domestic, even when the destination is foreign. The plane may land in Beijing, but the journey begins inside North Korean control. The crew is North Korean. The procedures are North Korean. The passengers are monitored before they ever board. The experience is carefully managed from the first step to the last. That is why Air Koryo is not just transportation. It is border control with wings. But there is another reason the airline matters: prestige. North Korea constantly tries to present itself as stronger, richer, and more advanced than outsiders believe. It builds massive monuments, stages military parades, launches satellites, and displays missiles. An airline fits perfectly into that performance. To have a national carrier is to claim modernity. It says we have pilots, engineers, airports, international routes, and aircraft capable of crossing borders, even if the fleet is small, even if the routes are few, even if most citizens will never buy a ticket. The symbol still works. For the regime, perception is part of power. Air Koryo has also become famous for the wrong reasons. For years, it was widely known among outsiders for its old Soviet-era aircraft and unusual reputation. The European Union has kept North Korean carriers under its air safety restrictions, with the official EU Air Safety List covering airlines banned or restricted from operating in the bloc. That reputation created a strange kind of fascination. Aviation enthusiasts wanted to experience it. Tourists wanted to say they had flown on one of the world's most mysterious airlines. The airline became a rare product of North Korea that foreigners could actually encounter directly, and that made it useful. Because North Korea does not only need control, it also needs money. Tourism to North Korea has always been heavily restricted, but when it happens, it brings foreign currency. Air Koryo helps the regime keep more of that money inside its own system. Instead of relying entirely on foreign airlines, North Korea can carry selected visitors itself. It controls the ticket. It controls the arrival. It controls the first impression. That first impression matters. A passenger steps onto a North Korean plane before they ever step onto North Korean soil. The airline becomes the opening chapter of the state's story. Orderly crew, patriotic branding, calm service, a sense that everything is normal, and that is the point. Air Koryo helps turn an abnormal country into something that appears official, structured, and functioning. But the pandemic revealed something even more important. When North Korea sealed itself off, air links were among the first things to vanish. Air Koryo halted flights, borders closed, and the country became even more isolated than before. Later, as North Korea slowly reopened limited connections, Air Koryo resumed flights to China, including services between Pyongyang and Beijing. That showed the airline's real purpose. It is not about mass travel. It is about controlled re-entry into the world. North Korea can close the sky when it wants. It can open it only a little. It can decide who comes, who leaves, and when. In most countries, airlines are signs of openness. In North Korea, the airline proves how carefully openness can be rationed. This is what makes Air Koryo so fascinating. It exists because North Korea cannot survive in total isolation, but it also cannot allow normal connection. It needs China, but fears dependence. It needs Russia, but fears exposure. It needs foreign currency, but fears foreign ideas. It needs movement, but fears freedom. So it created an airline that solves the contradiction. A controlled bridge. A narrow corridor. A machine that connects North Korea to the world without allowing the world to freely enter North Korea. And maybe that is the deeper meaning. Air Koryo is not a failure because it is small. It is small because the system wants it that way. Its limited routes are not just signs of weakness. They are signs of design. Every flight is allowed. Every passenger is selected. Every connection exists because the state has decided it serves the state. That is why North Korea has its own airline. Not because its people are free to travel, but because its rulers are not free to fully disconnect. In the end, Air Koryo is the perfect symbol of North Korea itself. A country that wants to appear modern while remaining sealed. A country that needs the outside world while warning against it. A country that built an airline not to open the nation, but to control the opening. And somewhere above Pyongyang, when one of those planes rises into the sky, it carries a strange message. North Korea is isolated, but never completely, because even the most closed regime on Earth still needs a door, and Air Koryo is the door it refuses to let anyone else hold.